taking that risk. You're afraid of taking that leap. But once you take it, you feel that, that's the most obvious and the right thing to do. But taking that step, being available on the stage is very important. Of course, you will have to once you get into that, uniform, once you get into that role. So that's the afterthought. But first, you need to be on that stage. And that's exactly what has happened with me. Whenever opportunity has been presented, I have grabbed in available to, accept the risk and the challenges associated with that. And that's the reason, as compared to other entrepreneurs or leaders in the industry, I have experienced success much early. I would say leadership is being promoted as to be very complex and not everyone can be a leader. I understand there are different.
Do you agree? I personally feel not everybody can see, Bharat, what you're doing, BK, what you're doing cannot be done by everybody.
Yeah, I agree to say. I always say not all leaders can be good managers, but not all managers could be good leaders.
Oh, right.
So normally what happens is when I have been talking to so many customers and businesses, there's one common conception that if they outsource their accounting, they may lose control of their financials. That's one common myth. But honestly, it's the other way around.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Set Talks, where we explore stories that inspire, inform, and leave you with a spark of curiosity. I'm Sridhar Jog, your host, where we connect with inspiring leaders and game changers, transforming industries and lives. My purpose is to share the wisdom of established entrepreneurs and professionals with millions of youth like me who want to be successful. On today's episode, I would like to introduce a very special guest, Bharat Kanojia, an expert with over 15 years of experience in outsourced accounting, tax, bookkeeping, and solution. Bharat, fondly known as, today we'll dive into BK's journey, his strategies for solving real world business challenges and innovation, where he shaping the industries. Get ready for an exciting episode with packed away insights, fresh perspective. Let's get started. Welcome to Set Talks, BK, and how are you?
Hey, thank you so much, and thank you for having me on this Set Talks. And I've had chance to look at other podcasts that you have done with some of the guests in the industries,
Thank
and
you so much.
I must say I'm highly impressed
Thank
the
you.
way you conduct the podcast, and I've also observed the fact that the conversations are very organic.
Right.
They are not scripted; they are very impromptu, and I think that's the foundation of a successful podcast.
Right.
And I'm very happy today to be on this channel and talking about how am I feeling about it. I'm very excited and share insights or exchange ideas that would benefit the larger audience. Those are your fans of this podcast.
Right. Thank you so much, Bharat. You've been busy, still you managed time for this podcast. I have some questions aligned for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, shoot.
BK, can you tell how your journey in the field of outsourced accounting team began?
Right. So largely, to be honest, largely, I have been into IT services and solutions for more than like 10 years of my career. And I got into this KPO, knowledge process outsourcing industry, since 2020. So that was the very first beginning of my journey in this space. And specifically when we talk about KPOs, I got the opportunity to work with outsourced accounting firms, where we provide accounting solutions to small and medium businesses in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia. So I think my best utilization of the skills have been in the last 5 years. Although I've accumulated a lot of experience and knowledge in the past while working with IT companies, but the best use of my knowledge and skill set was in the last 5 years. And that's the reason, I'm today the director of sales and marketing with one of the most sought after outsourced accounting firm named ProcStat. And we have been helping hundreds of, accounting firms and other small and medium businesses in the US, UK, Australia, and Canada, and solving some of the most common pain areas around accounting and helping them scale their businesses rapidly. So that's how, and my
Right.
journey has been very exciting. And I've got the chance to explore, travel, network, and meet a lot of new people or people who are highly skilled, highly trained professionals, leaders from different industries. So that primarily has shaped my journey as a leader in whatever capacity I am right now, and leading teams and inspiring people.
BK, you had a massive like transition, career transition at a very young age. You are a director. So, how did that transition happen? It's a follow-up question. Just wanted to ask.
Right. See, it's all about the opportunity you grab. See, normally what happens is oftentimes we are afraid of taking that risk. We are afraid of taking that leap. But once you take it, you feel that, that's the most
Mm,
obvious and the right thing to do. But taking that step, being available on the stage is very important. Performance, of course, you will have to once you get into that, uniform, once you get into that role. So that's the afterthought. But first, you need to be on that stage. And that's exactly what has happened with me. Whenever opportunity has been presented, I have grabbed it and I have been available to, accept the risk and the challenges
mm.
associated with that. And that's the reason, as compared to other entrepreneurs or leaders
Right.
in the industry, I have experienced success much early in my career.
Yeah, because at very young age, to be a director, it's a, I mean, can't imagine. It's a very big thing.
Yeah, yeah.
BK, yeah. What inspired you to focus on helping small and medium-sized businesses with their financial operations?
Right. See, to be very honest, the logic is very simple.
Mm,
Be it our country or any other country, small, medium businesses are the backbone of the economy,
right.
right? If they are thriving, the economy of the country is thriving. And I've seen a lot of businesses struggling with, in terms of resources, cash flow, and they do not have expertise in the right areas that would help them to scale their business. So most of the business owners are doing it themselves. They are doing accounting themselves. They are managing the vendors themselves. They are talking to the customers. They are the sales. They are the marketing guys, and wearing different hats at different stages of the business, but going nowhere. And that's one of my motivation to
Mm.
get into this, and really digging into their problems and helping them with affordable, cost effective solutions that helps them to really and genuinely scale their business on ground with complete visibility about their business and financials.
Because I was going through profile, you are helping them to scale their businesses. All you are very successful at the same time, but it's very challenging at the same time. I would like to add.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, see, as a business owner, said, if you are a business owner and one fine day, you get an email or a cold call from some XYZ company that you are hardly or, remotely, you are not even remotely associated with.
Right.
And then we talk about, helping you to scale, help you save your operational cost up to 50%. So it's very difficult to trust. And there is no credibility. I don't have any credibility in front of you. You don't know me. I don't know you, but I genuinely want to help. So, over a period of time, by delivering quality work, by continuously talking to them, networking with them, and giving them that confidence, making them part of important decisions that would strategically benefit the business. These are the small
Right.
steps that helps to build trust and credibility, and that's where magic happens. Businesses are ready to outsource their work, and then we really provide them that value, due to which they are able to experience the benefits in their business.
Because you mentioned credibility part, but initially there is no credible. But when client approach you, there is something about you, BK. I found you are able to convince them. So how do you do that? Because it's very difficult.
It's very simple.
Right.
When I approach a client or when I talk to anyone in my team or the leadership, I keep it very natural. I
Hmm.
keep it very organic. I let the communication unfold the way it, the
Right.
way we interact. So I don't have a fixed script, or I'm not there to convince, or I'm not there to push anyone to give me a
Mm,
business. I'm there to educate them. I'm there to create that awareness.
right.
If that is there in the first place, obviously, I think they would definitely consider me at least worth giving it a shot.
They're considering you because when they're communicating you, they you are able to understand their pain point. You are able to understand their problems. At the same time, then you are able to come up with a ultimate solution. That's the reason they're approaching you.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
this entirely, see, it's been 5 years in this industry, so I very well understand what are the common, challenges that a small business owner would go through. And that's where I establish the connection. And to support that, I always have, regular, or I would say, case studies in my bag. I have customers who are talking about us. I have client references where you can, just go and verify. So I know you may call me a good salesman or a marketer, but as long as you don't see those results on the ground,
Right.
it would be difficult for me to convince anyone to, give me their business. So I ensure all these things are in place and then only talk. And I like to keep it very natural, listen to them rather than I don't listen to respond. I listen to understand, and
Hmm.
that's where things work out for me.
Right. 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 BK, what are the some of the biggest challenges you have faced early in your career?
Right, on a personal front, I think just like any one of us, I was clueless after my post graduation what exactly needs to be done, where I'm going to head, what is going to be my career path, what is the goal that I
Hmm.
would achieve. Initially during college times, I was like, I was going just with the flow. So my
Right.
friends took up BSc chemistry. I went ahead and I was part of that pack. Then after graduation, everyone parted ways. That I
Hmm.
went into masters, and then I completed my diploma in technical communications and all. So I kept trying. I kept challenging myself, and then I knew I had decent communication. I knew I had few leadership qualities, and I knew to back it all, I had that confidence. So I knew I'll do
Hmm.
something good, and that's the reason the way opportunities came, I had over a period of time built that resilience, and that's the reason I could progress in my career, and today I'm sitting and talking to you.
Back then, I think you might not imagine someday you will be a successful director at very early age, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That was never a part of the plan, but again, it became part of my plan and career journey. So I mean, I'm really excited, and it see designations and responsibilities has its own challenges and has its
Right.
own perks, right? So when you accept or such challenging roles, you accept all these things associated and surrounding those things. So in the process I may fail at times, but it's about how adaptable I am, how resilient I am to stand up again and embrace the challenges, and then take it head on. So that's what exactly has helped me, and that's been my psych when it comes to leadership roles and accepting challenging targets or goals in the career.
Right. BK, how does outsourcing accounting help businesses to restore certainly and eliminate guesswork? What's your understanding?
See, normally what happens is, as a business owner of a small business or a medium business, as I earlier mentioned, you have to wear different hats at different stages. So at times, what happens is the things that you are not good at or is not your forte, you often tend to ignore that, right? So if somebody, for example, take an example of a restaurant. If I'm an owner of the restaurant, why I started that restaurant in the first place is to serve good menu options, good meals, good cuisine, good food to my customers, right? I was never meant to go back in the kitchen and repair my accounting books or do the accounting or calculations in the back end. That's not my focus. So
Okay.
obviously, I will be dead focused on serving the customers rather than focusing on my accounting needs. So this is exactly where we come in. And in the process, if, for example, I'm running a restaurant and every week I need a report that gives me the visibility of how much sales or revenue I've generated as a business owner, if I don't have that, what we say, expertise, I would never be able to achieve that. And that's where having an expert like us helps them to eliminate this guesswork and restore certainty. So what happens is we give them the complete financial picture of their business, and basis which they can completely and confidently take the decisions for their business. Whether it is about growth or hiring more people or investing more cash in renovating the restaurant or opening a new location for that restaurant. So that's how, precise and accurate accounting helps them to eliminate guesswork and restore certainty.
Basically, BK, you're helping them to understand the 360-degree perspective of their business.
Absolutely. So they can be, up to date with their financials at any given point of the day. That helps them to, accelerate that
Hmm.
decision making, and they can be confident about it. They don't have to guess anything.
BK, what are the most common misconceptions about businesses outsourcing their financial operations?
So normally what happens is, when I have been talking to so many customers and businesses, so there's one common conception that, if they outsource their accounting, they may lose control of their financials.
Hmm.
That's one common myth. But honestly, it's the other way around. If they outsource, they get complete control of their financials.
Okay.
They
But
get
there is a
complete.
risk involved. That's the reason they have that thought process.
Yeah, a lot of it is due to the myth surrounding this. A lot of it is because there is somebody who is sitting in a
Hmm.
different country and, controlling our financials. But once they get in, and that's the reason, what normally we do is, okay, fine. You may not be giving us the work immediately. What we can do, we can go for a pilot project.
Right.
We can start a small engagement, 15, 20 days. You just outsource sample work. You see what exactly we can do, what value we are bringing to the table. And if you're convinced, if you
Hmm.
see or if you feel that, okay, yes, this is going to work out, it's going to be beneficial for my business, then you decide and take the decision of outsourcing. And in the end, what happens is, once they start seeing the visibility of the business, uh, i I mean, I have seen their reactions firsthand.
Hmm.
They are just mesmerized. They are inspired, and then they come up with the thing that why you did not meet us earlier, or why we were not aware of all these things happening around. So that's how, it works.
BK, can you share a real life example where your services made a transformative impact on clients' businesses?
Absolutely. So there was one client from car care sector in the
Hmm.
US. So they had like nine different locations. So they had nine different car care centers in the
Hmm.
US, and it was, I think, in Minnesota, US. So they were not able to, figure out the accounting for the nine different stores. One owner, nine locations.
Hmm.
So they had this cash flow problems because they did not have any visibility. They were not getting insights of each and every store on a regular basis. They did not exactly know what is the inventory stock that is available in the store, right? They were not getting day-to-day updates on what's the revenue that's generated today. On a monthly basis, they could not analyze how much has been the revenue, what's the cost incurred on payroll, what's the cost incurred on parts, what's the cost incurred on other maintenance activities around the locations. So we help them streamline all these things. We analyzed their books, which were not updated from the last 3 years. We did all the cleanup and catch up work. And then we started delivering them weekly, monthly, quarterly, half yearly, and annual reports that gave them complete visibility of the performances of the nine stores.
Hmm.
At the same time, help them to better control their cash flow. And we also set up internal controls that help them to, restrict themselves from overspending or underspending on different priorities as and when they meet the needs of their business. So the client was, at the end of 6 months, the client realized that they are approximately saving up to 30 to 50% on their operational expenses.
That's a huge, yeah, huge
Absolutely.
target.
So that's the kind of, change we brought in their business, and they completely now rely on us, on our accounting expertise to tackle any challenges they are facing. And we are not just providing them any bookkeeping services.
Hmm.
We are providing them expert CFO services. We are providing them controller services. So, that's the kind of value we have brought in their business. And they are more than happy to recommend us to any XYZ clients. They are more than willing to, talk to our other prospects who are, a little tentative
Right.
about outsourcing. So they are our biggest advocates for our business these days.
BK, you are known for building trust among clients. So, what steps you take to build trust and transparency with your clients?
Right. So in this business, said the one of the most important factors for the clients to consider is of data security, data
Hmm.
integrity, how we manage data, and then how their personal information or their clients' information is managed. So we are an ISO certified company, ISO certified and compliant company. I won't just say
Right.
certified; we are compliant as well, because it's very easy to get certified, but to reinforce or enforce all the parameters of ISO in an organization is a very challenging task,
Hmm.
and I'm proud that we do it day in and day out. So initially, during our interactions, we walk them through the entire process, how the data is managed, how are we going to collect the data, how are they going to transfer us the data, what data would be exposed to what users, and on the floor what are the data sanitization precautions that we have taken to ensure that nothing goes out of the door. Nobody uses phone on the floors, nobody uses pen and paper on the floor. So everything happens within the system. Once you're done, you just lock the system and you're out of the system. There's absolutely no chance that people can misuse the data anywhere. So this is one of the most important factors when it comes to building that trust and credibility among the
Right.
customers. Some of the larger clients, they always prefer to visit the location
Hmm.
in person and see what exactly your infrastructure looks like. So we have had client visits as well. So these are some of the things we ensure that, because these are the obvious questions coming from the client, and we are
Right.
absolutely ready and prepared for it, that this is what we do. And they can even test us if they are aware about the ISO standards and what compliances need to be in place. They can even just go ahead and test us through different things, and that's how we build trust and credibility. And of course, since it's a human to human interaction,
Hmm.
the way you talk, the way you convince, the kind of supporting documents you have, the kind of leadership you have, that all adds up to the credibility of the business.
That's an added advantage to your part because you can convince a client. You have that repo, or I would say, uh, client. I mean, they trust you because when they communicate with you, they know the leadership's quality you have, and yeah, right,
I think that comes very naturally, and that's the reason my profile says sales and marketing.
right.
I think I am built for that, I
Right.
guess.
You are definitely. That's the reason clients trust you. Uh, you've been a successful entrepreneur, leader. So, how do you manage and motivate cross-functional teams?
So it's very simple. Often, leadership has been, uh, I would say, leadership is being promoted as to be very complex, and not everyone can be a leader. I understand there are different leadership
But
comes.
do you agree? I personally feel not everybody can see, Bharat, what you're doing, BK, what you're doing cannot be done by everybody.
Yeah, I agree to some extent. But see, I always say,
Right.
not all leaders can be good managers, but not all managers could be good leaders,
Oh, right.
right? So there's a set of traits that a leader carries, and I think when it comes to me and managing cross-functional teams, it's very important. I keep it very simple. I set the right expectations, realistic goals,
Right.
right? I keep it very transparent, and whatever goals I set is in agreement with the team.
Hmm.
So post during our review meetings, nobody can come and tell me that I think this was overwhelming for me and I could not achieve that. And I'm sure nobody would come and tell me, because throughout the process I am working with them very closely. If somebody is struggling, the entire team would go ahead and try to help him or her to match the standards or the benchmark or the goals, and try to help them to achieve those. So keeping that collaboration, keeping the expectations real, continuously communicating with the team, that keeps the team motivated and aligned. And it also gives me the feeling of being connected with the team. So as a leader, I can very easily, escape and say that,
Right.
well, I don't have time. We can do it sometime later. But that's not my style.
Hmm.
We need to continuously, if something is assigned or some meeting has to happen, some review has to happen, it has to happen. There is no other alternative. There is no option. You need to sit down and listen to your team. And, and I am a servant leader. I am a facilitator. So I know I don't have to go and call the clients. I don't have to go and close any deals. My team
Hmm.
is very much capable of doing. But I need to ensure whatever they need, I should facilitate them.
Mentorship.
Yes,
You.
mentorship, or they need any tools or software to ensure that they are effective at work. I need to ensure I give them those tools and support, and eliminate any barrier that comes in, that hinders their performance. So that's how I keep the team motivated.
Vicky, what leadership lesson you have learned working in the outsourced accounting industry?
Right, that's a very good question, said. See, the way outsourcing industry was 5 years ago,
Hmm.
and the way I see it today with the intervention of AI and a lot of automation, it has completely changed and it will continue to evolve. And I've seen clients who are working on spreadsheets while the world has moved towards AI and automation,
Right.
right? So that will be there. And this is also evolving. And there are things which will completely be replaced. So, one
Hmm.
thing that I've learned is that you need to be adaptable. You need to be like water, I would say. I always give this analogy. You
Right.
need to be water. If I'm pouring you it in a cup, you would take the shape of the cup. If I'm pouring you in a bottle, you would take the shape of the bottle. So that's how, you need to be very adaptable these days. You need to be flexible, and you need to have that risk taking ability. You cannot simply limit yourself stating that, this is how it works. No, there are 10 other ways of doing this and doing it more effectively. So you need to open yourself to other possibilities as well.
Hmm.
Right. So that's how I try to stay relevant in this role.
So, BK, I was going through profile. At times, you are very flexible. You are open to like new opportunities and all. So, how do you stay updated with industry trends and technological advancements?
See, it's very, very, I follow a very structured approach
Right.
to these things. So normally in my routine, I spare at least 1 hour reading, industry journals, magazines. I follow a lot of groups on LinkedIn. I have a very solid networking. I go to events. So that's how, I keep
Hmm.
myself updated with the trends or whatever new is happening. And that's how I am able to, talk about these things very confidently.
Right. 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 BK, what advice would you like to give to businesses in terms of outsourcing and accounting tasks? Because you know in and out about, yeah.
See, these days, I mean, simple advice. As a small, medium business, I know you cannot do everything. I know
Right.
you cannot
Right.
afford everything. You cannot straight away, without having any revenue, buy sophisticated tools or software, or hire, expensive resources, I would say, experienced resources. So there are options, like outsource accounting is one of them, where you can simply outsource the work. And this is a very cost effective solution where you get access to expertise, experience, and certified professionals whom you can rely on for
Hmm.
getting the accounting done. Once that is done, you can actually focus on your core expertise. Like you are a restaurant owner, you can focus on improving your menu. You're a car care professional, you can focus on serving the customers, acquiring more customers. improving your offerings within that garage. And if you are a manufacturing firm, you can actually focus on delivering the manufacturing solutions rather than going and getting stuck in the accounting work.
So it is leveraging time as well.
Leveraging time, saving cost, giving access to expertise at a fraction of your time and money. So I think the future of business is collaboration. You cannot simply do everything in house or manage everything on your own. And there will come a point where, initially you may not see these as challenges, but as you grow, as you scale, there will come a time where you will face sustainability challenges and also scaling challenges. So that's where, having an outsourcing partner who is the best fit for your business is the right approach in the long run. So that if your financials are in place, that's the foundation of any successful business. If that's in place, you can obviously naturally scale. There's absolutely no doubt about it.
That's something important you have mentioned. The future of business is collaboration.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What role, in your opinion, AI and automation will play in the future of accounting services?
Absolutely. So AI and automation are already, making inroads in this space. They're already influencing certain processes. So when it comes to repetitive tasks, like for example, today I have to update this spreadsheet. There are 30 list items, and I have to ensure everything has been entered and entered accurately. So every day I'm spending at least, like, let's say 2 hours, 3 hours doing it. So this is a repetitive task. I can train the machine, I can train the algorithms, I can set the benchmarks, or I can set the if and but conditions. I can train the bots in my system, and every morning I just have to run the program, and this calculation or this sheet is updated, and it would hardly take a matter of minutes. So initially, where I'm spending 3 hours, 2 hours, I'm just spending hardly 5 to 10 minutes. And post that, once the sheet is ready, I can spend another 2 minutes or 5 minutes to just quickly review it. So the processes or the tasks which are redundant, which are repetitive, which are labor intensive and time consuming, majorly AI will impact those areas. And the task which needs human intervention, a lot of thought process, creativity, innovation, I think that would be left for humans to do. But repetitive tasks would be, automated. And this is exactly what's happening in the accounting space. It's already and the businesses who are fast at adapting to these changes, who are relying on their outsourced accounting partners to implement these technology within their processes, are doing well and excelling, and while others are, trying to play the catch-up game.
Right. BK, you understand both elements of businesses. One is technical aspect. You mentioned this AI part, and another is scaling up businesses, which you have the leadership part. Are there any specific industry do you believe will benefit the most from outsourced accounting in the coming years?
Absolutely. See, the more the complex the industry, the more outsourced accounting would thrive. And for example, healthcare, manufacturing. These are industries which has a lot of moving parts in the background. Lot of vendors, lot of resources, lot of different compliances that they need to meet, lot of different customers who have, different requirements. Now, for example, healthcare, so many different patients, so much of machinery, so many doctors and, resources and experts working. Then you need a very compliant facility where you manage all these things. So the complexity is when you sit down to do the accounting work for these industries, it's very complex. And that's where, the more complex the process, the more it should be left to the experts. And we have a lot of clients in the manufacturing industry as well. So, how to construct a house, there are so many different elements, raw material, different vendors you have to deal with. Catching or, capturing all those minute details, the amount spent, how much to be given, how much to be received. All this takes a hell lot of time and, it actually presses you, and at times if it doesn't come out accurate, you don't exactly get the picture of the project cost. So
It's
that's
a
where,
crucial task.
absolutely very crucial. So in the end, when you think about the P&L, what's in it for me, or how much money did I make out of this? If you don't have that visibility, there's no point in spending so much of effort. So that's where, outsource accounting comes in, and these are some of the businesses that would really benefit from this.
Right.
That makes me ready for the next day. So that's how, when you talk about sharpness, it's all about awareness and being
Right.
organized.
So, BK, you've been a successful entrepreneur, you've been a successful leader. What's the one piece of advice you would like to give to a younger self who is starting their journey?
See, even if I am able to inspire one person
Right.
out of all the effort that I'm putting in, I would be the most happiest person in the world.
Right, right.